Good afternoon and welcome to the City of Belleville Committee of Adjustment meeting for Thursday, September the 16th, 2021. My name is Brian Miller and I will be chairing the meeting today. Our first order of business is disclosure of any pecuniary interest and the nature thereof. Anyone? Glenn?
Mr. Chair, I need to declare a conflict on A3221.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, thank you. Okay, our first order of business today is application for a minor variance and consent and it's A3021 and B1721 at 80 and 82 Bridge Street West, Belleville, and the owner is Kelly Patton and the agent is Three Hills Engineering. Is either one of those here today?
Normally Andrew makes the presentation. Is that not how we proceed, Mr. Chairman?
Okay, Andrew, go ahead.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Application A30 and B17 have been submitted for 80 and 82 Bridge Street West. The subject land is zoned R2. Mark, that's the previous slide.
I didn't think that looked
there we go. Thank you. So the subject land is zoned R2 and is developed with a single detached dwelling known as 80 Bridge Street West, which is the left building and is to be severed, and an existing non-conforming 4-unit dwelling known as 82 Bridge Street West, which is the right building, and it will be the retained parcel. Since the two properties had merged, the application proposes to reseparate them into individual lots, and by doing so, recognize any deficiencies created by the consent. Staff did receive correspondence from a local member of the public, which is in support of the application. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Okay, now, is Kelly or anyone from Three Hills Engineering here to join us today?
Yes, they are. I'll bring them into the meeting. We have Nadia and Curtis from Three Hills Engineering joining us.
Good afternoon, Curtis.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, Curtis from Three Hills Engineering, and yeah, there's not a lot to say. And something very well. Existing 2 structures on a merged property, and just looking to have them separated. Nothing's going to change with the 2 structures as far as current uses. Life goes on as normal.
Okay. Any questions for this gentleman? No, I think kind of housekeeping item. Okay. Is anyone else from the general public, Mark, that want to join us?
No, that's everyone
Okay.
I have.
Thank you. Nadia is there. Does she have any comment?
No, Nadia doesn't.
No. Okay. If there's no further comment, then Carol, you're moving that it be approved. Seconded by Robert. All in favor?
Yep.
Carried. Thank you. Thank you, Curtis. Nadia.
Thank you.
Okay, our next application is for a minor variance at 660 Sidney Street in the city of Belleville, and it's A3121. The owner is Andy Gertzma. And Andrew, you can explain what's happening there.
Surely. So a minor variance has been submitted for 660 Sidney Street. This is the subject land is zoned R713, and this application proposes to realign the development so that the driveway will align with the development across the street and enable the new configuration of the site. Relief has been requested for front yard and south interior side yard, as well as the allowable projection for a balcony in the south interior side yard. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Mark, is Andy or anyone from GCL Development with us?
With us, and he'll be joining us.
There we go. Where are we there? Andy, there you are. Good afternoon.
Hi, it's Andy Gertzman from GCL Developments.
Any questions, comments?
I think it's been explained fairly well. The main issue was trying to get our driveway to align with the future development right across the street. It was kind of a late developing issue that was only realized at the 11th hour. So the original entrance was pretty much ready to go for site plan approval, and then it was discovered that we couldn't make the entrance work. So we shifted the building around, and we found a way to make it work, but it's going to require a variance of the building to get the building to, I guess, to be idealized for that particular corner.
What type of building is on there, just so we're all on the same page?
It's not. It's a new building. It'll be a new building. It'll be a 4-story apartment building.
Okay,
Right now, the site is vacant.
okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Gertzma?
No questions, just a comment. The apartment building itself, the setback we're looking at is from a Hydro One easement, so it's not even from another residential or commercial property. So I don't see any issues with it from my perspective. So.
Okay, Mark, anyone else from the community here for comment?
We do have the owner, Mac Cairns, available to speak.
The
He's joined and unmuted. I can assume he can hear us and that hopefully we can hear him.
Hello.
Mac. Oop.
Hello.
Hello, Mac.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi.
Do you have any questions, comments? Mr. Gertzman's updated us on what's going on. Do you have any further comment?
No, I think there's actually been an error. I'm actually the applicant for 667C Dundas Street East.
Oh. Okay, yeah, you're the next one. You're right. Okay.
No
All
problem.
right. So we'll get to you in a moment then, Mac.
Thank you.
Okay, so any further questions or comments for Mr. Gertzma?
Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve.
Seconded by Carol Feeney. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay. Now we'll move on
Thank
to the
you.
next application, and Glenn has a conflict on this one. Minor variance A3221 667C Dundas Street East, City of Belleville, and the agent is Mackenzie Cairns, and the owner is Trevor Percy. And Andrew?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the subject land is zoned general industrial zone and is developed with a single detached dwelling, which encroaches on a neighboring property. As you can see, the bottom corner of the building does encroach on the neighboring property, as seen in the photo there. The application proposes to reconstruct the building, which has been highlighted in approximate red color. And is more central on the property, as well as it will accommodate the setbacks from Quinte Conservation. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Cairns, do you have any comments?
I have actually purchased the property. So I am now the current owner. I know on the application it said Trevor Percy, which was the previous guy, but since then we've been forced to close. So I own this guy now. But my only comment is the building that's there. I do have pictures. I never sent this to you, Andrew, but it is inhabitable. It is a single family dwelling, but the previous owner used it as a cottage and just kind of let it go. And right now what's supporting the floor is essentially tree trunks. Building code compliance might be difficult in any stage to do that, which is why I'd like to move forward with the reconstruction of a slab on grade 2-story home.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Cairns? Anyone else in the public to comment on Dundas Street East? Mark?
I don't believe so, although I've lost a little faith in my list.
You get ahead of yourself. Okay.
Well, we don't see any raised hands, So,
Okay, if no further comment, then do you have any questions for Mr. Cairns? Committee? No? All righty, then a motion by Carol Feeney, seconded by Robert. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Thank you, Mackenzie. Okay, moving right along. Our next application for consent is B 1821, and it's 133 Lingham Street, Belleville, Ontario. The owner is Michelle Cook, and the agent is Wade and Carol Little. And Andrew, your turn.
thank you, Mr. Chair. So a consent application has been applied for 133 Lingham Street. The property is zoned R6 zone and is developed with a single detached dwelling and an accessory garage or storage shed. So as you can see, highlighted in red on the slide there, that location used to locate where a chimney was. It's no longer exists. But the area is listed on multiple titles. So the neighboring property is also listed this part on title. So the purpose of this application is to remove that portion off of the neighboring title so that they can rectify the titles for the land registry office. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Is Ms. Cook or Wade or Carol Little joining us today, Mark?
Cook is joining right now.
Hello, sorry about that.
Okay, Michelle.
Just
They
a
are.
few points of clarification. Oh, I couldn't see the video. Just a few points of clarification. So the agent is Michelle Cook, lawyer, and my clients are the owners, the Littles. And we're seeking to remove that piece of the parcel from our title, not from the neighboring title. So we're the ones seeking to remove it. Besides that, I have no further comments.
Okay, any questions for Michelle? I think it's just a housekeeping item anyway that needs just to straighten the line up there. Okay, if there's no further questions, then motion by Bill, seconded by Carol Feeney. All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Okay, our next application is B 1921 97 Donald Street, City of Belleville. The owner is Joshua Delhan and Jessica Barrett. And it is, Andrew, you can update us.
Correct. So an application has been submitted for this property to sever it. The subject land is zoned R2 and is currently developed with a single detached dwelling and 2 sheds. The application requests to create one new residential lot located on the south side of the property. Both the rezoning of both parcels has been included as a condition of consent, as well as a specific zone category of the R4 would need to be accounted for as well. In my staff report, I've also mentioned that there would be other relief required for the decks, and that the principal planner also highlighted the need for a planning justification report that has already been clarified and sorted through with my manager. They are ready for a full submission of a rezoning application. So back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Is the owner here for comment today, Mark?
Do have Nadia from 3 Hills. So I have included her in this portion of the meeting so that she can represent that application.
Nope, Curtis is back.
Well, yeah.
Hi guys. Yeah, Nadia's part of our staff and just here to observe, and there's Ken Dahan. Yeah, so yeah, looking to do the consent and the rezone for the consent. It fits somewhat within the R4. There are some minor variances that will have to be addressed. The primary requirements for the R4, though, should be met. There was some talk about moving the severed proposed dwelling forward a bit. to increase the rear yard. There's no opposition to that. If the planners would like to see the house more in line with the established building line along Reynolds, that's perfectly acceptable. And then there was also a comment about the right-of-way. I don't know what the width of the right-of-way at the time is currently. There's really no objection to give the widening, provided that it will get reflected in the reduced setback on the front yards, or front yards for the severed and side yard for the retained.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
I
Anybody?
should mention that they had talked to the owners to the south and to the east, and they had no objections or concerns.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Curtis? So we're just severing off a lot here in the zoning, and all the other things will follow into place later on. Okay. No further questions, comments? Motion? Carol Merrill, moved, seconded by Glenn. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, now our next, we have an application that was deferred from last month. It was application for consent B 1621 149 Denys Road, the city of Belleville. The owner is Marcus Sullivan, and Andrew, you can give us an update on that.
Surely. So this application was received by the committee last month in August. In summary, it was a consent application to create a new residential lot which would front on Highway 37. It was deferred due regarding the requirement for a hydrogeological study. To give some background, since the beginning of this year, staff have been informing during the pre-consultation process that of Quinte Conservation's growing concern over droughts, water quality, and quantity in the rural areas. It was initially listed as a condition of consent, but the importance of it may further still be considered during the rezoning application. But as for the purposes for the consent application, the standard condition regarding water quality and quantity have been included as a recommendation. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Is Mr. Sullivan or Mr. Watson with us today to make any further comment, Mark?
I don't see them as attendees at the present time.
Okay, does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns regarding this application? Bill?
Thank you. Through the chair to Andrew. This piece of property looks to be heavily treed. If it's going to be used as a residential neighborhood, have we any idea how many trees we're going to lose here?
I'm not sure. Greg, could you inform on that?
Yeah, I don't think we have a specific number that we're aware of. I mean, certainly any clearing or filling or anything within the area that's regulated by the Conservation Authority, they would need a permit for.
Yeah, sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you, Greg.
Oh, sorry. Through the chair, yeah, any filling or grading or removal within the area that's regulated by the Conservation Authority, they would certainly need a permit for. So while we don't have a specific number of trees that we know would be removed, it would be something where they wouldn't be able to clear the entire site for sure.
Okay, thanks, Greg.
Carol? Carol, you have a comment?
Yes, I do. Just wondering, again, doesn't this fall into like environmental impact studies that go to Quinte Conservation? Has there been any issues raised about that other than what Bill just said?
Greg?
Sure, through the chair. I know the Conservation Authority was consulted on the severance proposal, and they didn't provide any comments to request further studies on it. So, I mean, it's something where I don't think they've identified it as being something that they would consider requiring further study in terms of an environmental impact report.
They're only concerned about the water, I think, at this point, or had some concern. Yes. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay, if not, then motion by Robert, seconded by Bill, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, that concludes all our applications today. The confirmation of the minutes of our regular meeting of August the 19th. Any questions, comments, concerns? Bill or Glenn, you're moving them?
No, I just wanted to jump in. I was reading them and I'd sent an email to Susan Bartlett earlier today. It does say who moved and who seconded each motion, but it doesn't say whether the motion was to approve or deny. And it doesn't say that it was carried by the members of the committee. So we might want to just tidy that detail up a little bit before we approve these minutes, because all of the only information there is moved by, seconded by, but we don't have the details as to whether it was approved or denied.
Good catch, Glenn. Do we want to defer the approval of those minutes till next time till we get
Yeah,
that?
just until they're corrected, yeah. Especially since they're about to be posted for public. So I just want to be really clear.
So we'll defer the approval of the minutes till next time till we get those details then, okay?
Okay.
Okay, any correspondence? Do we have any correspondence? The only thing I have, we were talking about something way back when, and Bill, I think you were looking into this about that parking issue downtown in the parking spots, designating spots for overnight parking. Do we have any update on that?
Nothing current through the chair. Nothing current other than the Catherine Street bridge reconstruction has sort of interfered and made the problem even worse.
Okay.
But Matt McDonald is working on it. They have identified, I believe it's 8 spots that they're going to do immediately, and then they're going to take a look at the sort of the broader picture and come up with a resolution and bring it forward to council. That was first brought to council back in April. So it is on their radar screen, and it's just a matter of gently nudging them along.
Good, that's good for an update so we know what's happening and it's in the works. So it all takes time. Okay, any other questions, comments, concerns before we adjourn today? Our next meeting is October 14th. So we will get our minutes and everything else before that. So if there's no further comments, questions, concerns, an adjournment by Carol Feeney, seconded by Robert. All in favor? Thank you. Everybody have a good weekend and we'll see everybody next month.
Thanks very much. It's my
Okay.
first meeting like this and it's very interesting.